Thank you. So let me share my screen. Now today we are going to discuss about one of the very important concepts, why Java does not support multiple inheritance. So you may get a question like this. The question says, this is how the question looks like. Why Java does not support multiple inheritance? So why Java does not support multiple inheritance? So before getting continued with this topic, we have already completed and we have already found out some differences between C and C++ and the Java programming languages. We will go through those topics once again. Actually, we have found very few differences. Are there? If we talk about it one by one, what is for C and C++? And this part is for Java. So we have already covered few of the topics in comparison. So let's talk about it. So we got to know that Java is a platform dependent programming language, right? And C++ is a platform dependent programming language. Java is the platform independent programming language. This is one of the major differences that we have found during this Java session. The second one is, and again, there was also a difference between C++, they support pointers, isn't it? Java, they doesn't support pointers. The third one is, you can say that Java is the architectural neutral programming language, whereas C and C++, they are not architecture neutral programming language because the memory allocation varies from one architecture to another architecture. So we have already seen some examples on 32-bit operating system and the 64-bit operating system. The C program or C++ program is designed to consume, for example, 4 MB of memory in a 32-bit operating system. When the architecture is changed, this 4 MB of memory consumption is not going to be same for the 64-bit operating system. It may be 8 MB of A. It is going to consume 8 MB of memory for the new operating system. Whereas in Java, memory consumption is going to change, going to be same no matter what kind of architecture you are using. So this is the third difference. The fourth difference we have also spoken about what. I think these are the three major differences that we have come across: platform dependent and independent, pointers concept, and architectural neutral. So today we are going to talk about why Java does not support multiple inheritance. So you must understand that this multiple inheritance concept, C++ supports multiple inheritance concept. Right? However, C does not support multiple inheritance, and so does the Java. Java does not support multiple inheritance. So here the takeaway is C++ internally supports a special kind of inheritance called as multiple inheritance. But Java doesn't support. We are not going to see why C++ is supporting multiple inheritance. We are just going to discuss why Java is not supporting multiple inheritance. Right? Before continuing this, we will understand what is multiple inheritance. Right? So still we are discussing about the basics of Java, and we are trying to find out, we are trying to analyze what exactly, how the Java could be differentiated between the legacy programming languages in comparison with which are like C and C++. So after completing all these basic features, then we are good to start our first programming, first develop a first Java code. Let me remove this. Before proceeding to this, we must understand what is inheritance. What do you mean by inheritance? We need to understand that, right? So let's see what is inheritance. What is inheritance in Java? Or we cannot specifically say that the inheritance is belonging to Java. Inheritance is a concept, it belongs to all the programming languages. So you'll understand what is inheritance first. So it is a mechanism. So by theory, if you understand what is inheritance by theory, I can say that it is just a mechanism of an object mechanism of which one object acquires all the properties and behaviors of the parent class so it is one of the important concepts of OOP groups. So what do you mean by OOP groups is nothing but object. It is an acronym. It stands for object oriented programming. It's just an acronym. It stands for. So this inheritance is one of the concepts in object oriented programming system. We will look into it in detail. No worries. Third one is we can also say that inheritance can be divided into many parts, but we will first understand what is this. Then we will look into the inheritance about its differentiation in detail. Just let me complete this. So by theory says it is a mechanism of which one object acquires all the properties and behaviors of parent class object. Right? So what does it mean exactly? So in Java, whenever you are developing an application, any application, if you choose to develop any application, you can develop an application within a class. What do you mean by class? If you ask me what do you mean by class, you want to write any logic, whatever the logic is, and if you are trying to develop a banking big enterprise application, right? So the development code or the logic, or the implementation details can be developed within the class boundary. For example, the class boundary can be like this. Class is just a keyword in Java. Don't worry about this class and the boundary. In future, there are many sessions where we discuss what is class, what is object, and again we are going to touch the inheritance topic. Today we are just going to understand why does it is not supporting multiple inheritance. We need this knowledge for the basic understanding about inheritance. So whenever you are developing a code, the code has to be developed in the class boundary. So this is the class boundary, right? The class boundary can have opening parenthesis and the closing parenthesis, and all the logic that you are writing should be falling within this boundary. Right? So logic, whatever the instructions that you are giving, right? It should be within this class boundary. And also we have to specify, we have to give a name to the class. So we have to follow a naming convention. Class is just a keyword. So every class has to be defined with a particular name. A name can be any user defined name. Right? For example, let me take that. The class name as computer. Right? Or else I can say, since we are learning Java, I can say let the class name is Windows operating system, Windows OS. Right? So all the softwares and all the properties, all the business logic has to be written within this class boundary. Class boundary has one opening parenthesis అంటే closing parenthesis. So this is an independent class. We can call this as an independent class, right? So again, let me take another class. Let me write another class. Here I am taking in order to, this is syntax for class. For each and every class, we need to make sure that the class has a name. So in this case, I'm going to take the class name as a simple laptop name. Let us take as HP or Lenovo, right? So I have two independent class. I have a class A, right? And I have a class. I have a class by the name of Windows OS, and I have a class by the name of Lenovo. This is another class with the name Lenovo. These are two independent classes. If you look at this class from the memory perspective, this is how it looks like in the memory. In the memory, there is a class, and there is another class. So the name of this class is going to be what? Windows operating system. Name of this class is Windows. So this name of the another class that we have created is LU. So two independent class. We can these are the classes that is available in the memory block. Just imagine that these two classes, this is how these two classes will get represented in the memory block. Okay. So what if I want to make a relationship between these two classes? These two classes are independent class. I want to make a relationship between these two classes. I will just have to use a keyword called extends. What did I say? Extends. So extends is a keyword that needs to be used to build a relationship between these two classes. So far, these two classes are independent class. I am planning to build a relationship between class Windows and class Lenovo. I want to build a relationship. So I'm planning to build a relationship between these two classes. Right? In order to build a relationship, I must use extends keyword. Extends keyword is a concept. I mean, it's a keyword that will make sure that two classes are in a relationship. Right? So in order to specify this little further, I can write these two independent class. In the following way. Let me show you that. So class Windows class Lenovo. So these two classes are independent class. What did I say? I just say that if you are using extends keyword, then you can make a relationship between these two independent classes. So I will just have to use the extends. So one has to use the extends keyword. So now these two classes are not independent classes. These two classes is maintaining a relationship because I have just used the extends keyword. Okay. So from the memory perspective, right? This is how the flowchart is going to be. Right. So in this, if you look at this particular code, so Lenovo is extending Windows. And Windows OS. So let it be Windows, no issues, Windows. So Lenovo is going to be a child class. This part is going to act like a child class. So this class is going to act like a parent class. We can also call the parent class as what? Base class. And in other words, we can also call it a superclass. Right? So child class, we can call the child class as derived class. These are the some of the names that we can represent the child class. We can call it as derived class, and we can also call it as subclass. Right? What I have done, we have taken two independent classes and we have built a relationship. The relationship in Java can be built using extends keyword. And with the help of extends keyword, this is how I have built the relationship. So after the right side of the extends keyword is holding a class that is going to be the parent class. The left side of the extends keyword is going to hold a class that is going to be the child class. In this case, this is going to be parent class. Right side to the extends keyword is going to be the parent class. The left side of this is going to be child class. I can just mark it like this is parent class and this is child class. So let's go back to the theory. It says it is a mechanism of which one object acquires all the properties and behaviors of the parent class object. So let us say that in the Windows operating system, if I am purchasing a laptop, I can go and purchase a laptop. If I want to purchase Lenovo laptop, I can go and purchase Lenovo laptop directly. Right? In the Lenovo laptop, so it should have an operating system. Right? Let us say that I am choosing the Windows operating system. So in the Windows operating system, by default, we are going to have MS Access. Microsoft, all the applications related to Microsoft. We are going to have a calculator application. By default, it will be made available to the purchaser. And we are also going to have the Notepad application. These all applications are available by default. Right? So what I am doing here, I have purchased a laptop. Right? So in this laptop, I am going to use what? Windows operating system. So by default, these applications, MS Word and Calculator and Notepad, is made available to my laptop. Hello, am I clear? Hello, am I clear till now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So by default, these applications are available to my laptop. But if you want to add a specific application, for example, in this laptop, I can store some data, like I can download some pictures. Right? These are something that is not available by default. It has to be done from our end. Pictures, and I can download some movies. So in the best case, we can download what? Java application. Right? These are the specific applications, specific applications that I can have in my laptop. Right? But if you look at these applications, these are the common applications. This application, I do not have to build a calculator application here. I can use this. I can use the calculator application that is given by what? Windows operating system. I do not have to build a new notepad application. I can use the existing notepad application that is given by Windows operating system. I do not want to create all the Microsoft applications. It is already available for me. Right? So because these are the common applications. In this case, what I am trying to say is the Windows operating system is acting as a parent class in this example. So this parent class is going to give me what is necessary. What is actually necessary for us? These are the necessary things that is being given by the parent class, which is Windows. Right? So I do not have to recreate all this application in the child class, which is Lenovo. Because my parent class has made it available to me. It has all these applications built inside already when we started installing Windows operating system. If I want to have the specific things like movies, if I want to download movies, if I want to download some pictures, if I want to download some Java programming languages, what I can download it specifically because this is my requirement. Because in the real time, if you see real parent and real child, right? So usually parents, they are going to what? They are going to earn money, and they are going to, for example, purchase some assets. These are the most common things that what the parent does, and after all, they are also going to, what they are going to support our life. Okay? What is our job? Child. As a child, we can inherit. We can take this legacy. Like the money that they have earned can be. We have the rights to take that money. We have rights to the parents' assets. So this support thing, everything will be coming from the parent, right? As a child, what we are going to do? We have to be perfect in our education. These are the specific things that one can expect. This is specific thing that we can do, and we should get what? We should get, we should build good career. This is a specific things that we need to fulfill. In order to do all this, we need we need some support from the parent, right? How the support will be given to you in the form of money, in the form of assets, in the form of emotions, right? So if a parent has money, you can use that money to build your career. You can use that money to go to the college. Right? At the same time, in the future, all the assets that was mastered by the parents, you have the same rights. You equally have the same rights as the parents have, isn't it? So this is the simple example, or this is the simple analogy that we can apply it to the Java inheritance. So this is what it says. It is a mechanism of which one object acquires all the properties and behaviors of the parent class object. Right? Just type S in the chat box if you have understood till now. This is what the actual inheritance is, but our question is what? Our question is something different, which is why Java does not support multiple inheritance. In order to understand this, we have understood what is an inheritance. So let us understand what is multiple inheritance. So again, Java divides inheritance into 5 categories. Let me list out those categories. Inheritance, first one is single level inheritance. Level inheritance, and second category is multi-level inheritance. The third category is multiple inheritance. So there is a lot of difference between multiple and the multi-level inheritance. We will look into those difference. The fourth one is hybrid inheritance. The fifth one is hierarchical inheritance. So if you take Java as an example, Java is not going to support what? It is not going to support first multiple inheritance is not supported in Java, and hybrid inheritance is not supported in Java. Java supports all the remaining three inheritance: single level, multi-level, hierarchical inheritance. Right. So now we are discussing what? We are discussing why Java is not supporting. It is not multiple level. It is multiple inheritance. Okay. So we are going to understand why Java is not supporting multiple inheritance. So if you understand this is going to be easy. Nothing. This is nothing. You have to understand this. Right. So before understanding this, let me write you a small piece of Java code. And don't worry about this Java code. Still, we have a long way to go to understand the Java code completely in detail. But for the time being, I will keep the code as simple as possible, and I will give you the little understanding of the Java code so that we can understand the multiple inheritance concept better. So let me take a class, a simple class. I have already said you want to write any instructions, if you want to develop any code in the Java programming language, the code has to be written or developed inside the class boundary. So class is a keyword, and this is how you specify. This is how you start writing a code. Just write a class, and you can give any name. So for simplicity, I am taking it as A. This is a class boundary. This is one condition. The second condition is it is important to have a main method in the Java programming language. So what do you mean by main method? This is called as a main method. And again, I'm telling I'm just writing a small piece of Java code. In future, I will elaborate, why the main method should be public static, and what is the static, and what is this void, and what is this main. Why method should be using this type of convention. Everything will be everything in detail. We will discuss that in the future, the future programming languages. But in order to understand the multiple inheritance in Java, we need to understand how the Java program works. So that I am taking a simple Java code. Nothing. Whenever you want to write any piece of Java code, this is how you can write. Take a class. So, and there should be a main method. This is mandatory because Java gets executed. Java starts executing all the instructions that is given in this main method. So main method is mandatory and class is mandatory. So the mandatory stuff that we should take care while writing a Java code. Class is mandatory and the main method is mandatory. Right? So this is a single class. We have already seen that this is a simple class and an independent class. Right? So let me take another class. Here the name of the class is class B. You can take any name. So I am keeping it very simple. So there is a class A and there is a class B. Okay. So and this is not a complete main method. In order to complete this, you want to say this as a complete main method, it should be like string array of this. So don't think about this all. So we have taken two independent class, and the main method is in where? Main method is in the class A. So here I can say we have taken two independent classes, a main method, class A. Since the main method is in class A, so this is a main method. This is how the syntax of the main method is has to be, right? So since the main method is in what is in class A, so the A class is also called as make class. Called as what? Main class. So I'm just commenting this because it's commenting in the sense, if you want to ensure that a particular piece of instructions or particular line of code is not getting executed, you have to write that code preceded by this two forward slashes. Whatever you write here, even if you try to compile this code, Java will not consider this. Java will consider this as a what? A kind of garbage. It's not going to consider this. Only it is going to consider this thing, this part, this class part it is going to consider. So this comment, this is called as comment section. Comment. This comment means Java, we are just specifying the Java programming language. Please do not include this code for the compilation, right? That's why I have, for our theory understanding, I have taken these lines inside the code itself. So we have two independent classes. One is class A and second one is class B. Right? Let me write a small statement. System dot println. So this is a standard line. This is a standard line that you can use. Whatever the statement that you are giving inside. For example, hello guys. Let's understand. Inheritance. Right? In Java, whatever the statement or whatever the string that you are going to give in this particular line, system.out.println, it will be printed. It will be printed in the display. Here what I have done, simply I have taken two classes. This class A and the second one is class B. Two classes are independent class. Two are independent class. So I have taken a main method. So main method is a method that is with this syntax, public static void main. All the instructions in the main method will get executed. First let me go back to the paint. So let me take this space. So this is the class that I have written. Let me increase the size. So please put some concentration here. This is very important. Let us understand this, right? So what I have taken here, I have a class A and another class is B. These two classes are independent classes because you want to make it you want to make sure that it has a relationship. I have to use extends keyword. I am not using any extends keyword. These two are the independent classes. So this lower block represents class A and upper block represents class B. Right? So I can say this as class A and this is going to be class A. So we already know, like whenever we are writing a piece of Java code in any application, we have to follow some naming conventions, and as well as we have to follow some rules. What is the first rule? The first rule is the name of the file should be followed by the following the .java extension. It should be saved with .java extension. Let me take .java. So this has to be saved with .java extension. And what should be the name of the file? The name of the file should be what? Same as the class name. So here I have two classes. One is class A, another one is class B. Which name I have to consider? Previously we have discussed whenever you're writing a Java code, you have to save the Java code with .java extension. and the name of the Java file should be same as the class name. Here I have two classes, class A, class B. Which class I have to consider? So please consider the main class. So here the main class is a class that has main method. So in this case, what this is this method is inside which class? This method is inside class A. So I need to save this file with the .a extension, a.java, because that is the class name. Isn't it? Right. So this file has got saved with a.java extension, right? So again, what happens? We will have to go through the compilation. So this code needs to get compiled. Again, I'm taking you back to this Java dependency concept. So this file is going to get compiled. So here we have a compiler. So let us imagine that this is a compiler. So compiler, what does it do? Compiler, it actually checks if the code is error free. If this code is error free, it is going to generate .class file, right? So it is going to, this is a compiler. So it is going to generate .class file, but here I have two classes, class A as well as class B. I have a class A and I have a class B. So it is going to generate two .class files. So one is a.class, second one is b.class. So two .class files will be generated by the compiler because there are two classes that we have specified in the code. One is class B and one is class A. So this is a.class file. Right? The second one is b.class file. Right? So let me show you the proof about this two .class file generation. So let me do the compilation. This is my notepad. So let me remove this. I have class B and I have class A. So I'm going to save this code. So file, save as. So in order to save this code, I need to use .java extension. And the .java extension here, I have taken the .java extension, no issues. But the file name should be same as the class name. Here I have two classes, class A I have and the class B I have. So which file name I will consider? I will be considering class A file because class A is the main class. It is a main class because it has a main method. So this is the main method. That's why I need to follow this naming convention, a.class. I cannot say b.class. I have to say it as a.class. Let me save it like a.class. So if you see my location, so this is the a.java file. It is already saved. The next thing is, let me open command prompt. Don't worry about this command prompt. Don't worry about this Java installation. I will help you with Java complete installation. Everything we will do. Right? Time being, we are trying to understand what is multiple inputs. So before compiling it in the command prompt, I need to make sure that the command prompt knows my Java location, Java file location. So this is where my Java file is saved. The C folder. Inside the C folder, in the C drive, inside the C drive, I have a folder called Java. Let me take you there once again. This is my C. This is my C drive. Inside the C drive, I have a folder called what? Java. This is where I have saved a.java file. So that I need to specify the same location. You see this location, see the C drive, I have a folder called Java. Same location, you can see it in the command prompt. You want to see C drive Java location, right? So I'm telling the command. I'm making sure that the particular .java file is getting compiled. In order to do that, I need to use a command called Java. This Java is nothing but we are calling the compiler. You are telling the command prompt, please compile this program, and the name of the command is Java space. So which piece of code I need to compile, which file I need to compile, right? I need to define that here. The file name is saved as a.java, right? So we don't, it is just blinking after this command. It means if it is just blinking, the compilation is successful. How do I make sure that compilation is successful? Let me go back to that folder again. Previously, earlier there was only a.java file. If you see now, we have two .class file. One is a.class, second one is b.class. Two .class files are generated. That is what happened here. After compilation, one is a.class file and b.class files. These two .class files are generated. Just type yes in the chat box if you have understood till now. Sounds good. The compilation part we have done. But after compilation, so something, some interesting things will happen after the compilation. What is that? So this each and every .class file, we have b.class file and we have a.class file. We have two .class file, b.class file and a.class file. So this .class file has to get into what? Get into JVM. You know what is JVM? JVM is what? Java Virtual Machine. So each and every first main class file will go inside. This is this a.class file will be getting into the JVM. Second one is b.class file. This will be getting inside the JVM. After getting inside the JVM, so just try to understand that this is the execution part, Java Virtual Machine JVM. So this .class file will be loaded into the JVM. This is what happened. .class files are getting loaded into the what? JVM. As soon as the .class files are loaded, the JVM creates a thread. What does it create? Thread. Again, you should ask me what do I mean by thread? So this is the thread. So this is the thread, and the name of the thread is what? Main thread. You can call it as let me write it in red so that this is a main thread. So this main thread, what it does, it will try to get access to the main method. It will check if there is any main method in the program. It will try to get access to the main method. So this thread is just like a what we call it as so this is just like a signal it's just like a control. You can call it as control. Yes, we can call it as control. It is just like a control. This thread will try to get access to the main method because it is a main thread. So from here, the control from here will go to will check if there is any main method. So it has found the main method. This is the main method, isn't it? Main method. After finding the main method, it will execute each and every instruction present in the main method. What is the first instruction in the main method? This is the first instruction in the main method. This is what we have given. So this instruction will be executed, right? So the output is going to be what? Output is going to be, hello guys, let's understand inheritance. So let me execute this. Till here we have seen the compilation. For execution, there is a simple command, Java space what? A. Just give Java space A. It means execute the compiled program. Execute the compiled .class file. What is the output? Hello guys, let's understand the inheritance. Let me copy this. After JVM, what it does, it actually generates a machine code, machine understandable language. This is something we have seen that in the platform independent concept. So the machine code will look like. So internally, this is happening internally in the JVM. Okay. So for our understanding, we have stated this outside of the JVM, but these things are happening internally in the JVM, and this code will be executed. After executing this code, we'll get the output like what? This is what the output looks like. Hello guys, let's understand the Java. This is what the output is. Right. So main first of all, as soon as the class files are loaded into the JVM is going to create the main thread. Right. This main thread will get access to what? Will get access to main method. This is the main method. Okay. So in the main method, it will execute each and every instruction. The first instruction is we have given only one instruction. This instruction will be executed. Okay. After this instruction, there are no more instructions, isn't it? After this, this main method, this main thread is finding an exit. This is the exit. Exit in the sense, the block is getting the block is starting here and the block is getting completed. As soon as it finds the exit block, the main thread will be destroyed. Right? Then the output, this is how the output is going to be. Sir, that's okay. We have understand. We are able to follow everything, but where is the inheritance concept here? Right. So inheritance concept has not yet started. Now we will understand how exactly the inheritance concept works here. Because in this example, these two classes are completely independent classes. They do not have any relation, right? Let's make a relation. In order to make a relation, I have to use what? Extends keyword. Extends B. So class A extends class B. Right? So now what happens? This is in the memory. These both classes are going to have parent-child relationship. So which is going to be parent? Class B is going to be parent. Why class B is going to be parent? Because class B, we have used class B. We are extending class B. Means class B is next to the, after the extends keyword, we have defined the class B. So it means B is going to be parent class and A is going to be child class. Same thing we have defined. So this is going to be parent class. Is going to be what? Child. So in the parent class, I do not have any methods, right? In the child class, I have one method, which is main method. So simply in the shortcut I'm writing, usually it is public static void main. I'm just writing it as main method. Like I can also write it like public static void main. Right? So what happened? What usually happens after the compilation and while as soon as the JVM takes in the .class files, JVM is going to generate a main thread, and this main thread will get access to the main method, and all the instructions in the main method gets executed. This is how a typical Java programming works. It applies for all the Java programs, not only for the Java program. This concept is valid for all the Java programs in the future. Okay. .class file is common. Even if you have 100 classes, 100 .class file will be generated. 100 .class file will be loaded in a specific way. And a single main method will be created. Job of the main method is it will get access to the main method. That's it. Let me go back to this class, and in the class B, I am taking a simple function. Don't worry about this function. Static void. Let me take it as example. A simple method. Don't worry about this code again. Let's see what happens here. So here I am using a statement like this is a example method of class B. Right? Let us assume this as a new Java code, new piece of Java code. Right? Let us work this once again. Right? Let us assume this is new piece of Java code. Let me create a new file. For that, let me save this. Make sure that you are rejoining this, because exactly at 9 there are chances that gets terminated. I mean the link that gets disturbed. Okay, just rejoin as soon as if you find the link is getting disconnected. Okay, so this is my new example. So I have a class B and I have a class A, right? So what exactly happens? You need to follow 3 stages. One is the developer stage, and next second one is this is the compilation stage, right? And we have to follow one more stage of execution stage. So this is compilation stage and this is execution stage. Right? So here in the compiler is going to generate. Compiler is going to take as soon as we start commanding the command prompt with the compilation, it is going to generate 2 .class file. One is d.java and the second one is Java. Right? This 2 .class file will get into JVM. This is JVM. Right? As soon as it gets inside the JVM is going to create a main thread. This main thread, it will try to get access to the main method. This is the main method, and it will execute the instructions that is available in the main method. So in the main method, how many instructions are available? Only one instruction, right? So the output is going to be this. If you ask me, okay sir, what about this instruction? What about this method? Right? This method will not be executed because we are not calling it. Because the control is, the main thread is traveling from here. The main thread is traveling from the JVM to, it will find the main method. It will execute only the instructions that is defined in this main method, that is declared in this main method, right? So it is not going to execute this instruction. Even though it is declared in a class B, it is not going to execute this instruction. So in order to execute this instruction, we have to call this method. We have to call what? We have to call this method. Okay. Let's stop here. No, we will continue from here tomorrow. So that this is where the inheritance concept is getting started. Actual inheritance concept is getting started. So get some knowledge to keep it simple. I've explained you all this. Tomorrow, if you just listen to my class, inheritance concept in Java will be crystal clear. I assure you. Right? You can ask me if you have any questions for the